Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is Yo AEW Rampage review, Beach Break edition for January 28, 2022. And I'm joined by Abby Maniac here. Abby, what did you think about this special? You could say Rampage. It was a taped show, even for the Beach Break name, but I thought it was decent. We had some solid enough wrestling, not a very newsworthy edition of Rampage, but we'll talk about it later. But overall, give me your thoughts.
Yes, I would absolutely agree with your thoughts. Decent show, nothing newsworthy, absolutely. And I would like to point a few thoughts regarding AW Rampage. I had said it in the last review that I was not in touch with wrestling for a few weeks. So, this week I am seeing Rampage. I saw Dynamite. So, when I saw Dynamite, I really enjoyed Dynamite. Just saying it, outright. Dynamite was a great show. But regarding Rampage, when I, got through the whole episode, you know, it seems like the management or the promoter, the EVPs are listening to us with the thing that they are building Rampage as well. We talked about the roster. They have a great roster if we talk about AW as a whole. So they have a great roster. They can uh, take Dynamite, they can take Rampage, and they can split the roster in a way, and they can build both shows only if they care. So now it seems after I watched this week's show that I guess they are building in that direction. Uh, that a set of wrestlers for Dynamite, a set of wrestlers for Rampage. I think that if they are going in that path, I hope, or I should say I wish that it translates to better viewership, better revenue, and compelling content via Rampage in the future. I saw the likes of Andrade, Darby Allin, uh, Brian Danielson, John Moxley, who we didn't, catch a glimpse on Dynamite. So it seems like we are going in that direction. At a roster for Dynamite, a roster for Rampage. So I guess this is a good step, and it is building for the future. So it is good. It will take time, but I should say that make us care more about the matches also that are happening on Rampage. There should be storytelling on Rampage as well, and hopefully it will be just like it is on Dynamite. Say we are talking about the thing with Leila Hirsch or MJF CM Punk or whatever else is happening on Dynamite. I hope that such storytelling happens on Rampage as well in the near future.
So basically, you're telling this is like AW is telling you that it is a brand split without telling you that it's a brand split. Like you can feel there is certain difference. Like certain feuds are getting paid off in one show only. Like if you are seeing these guys on Dynamite, you will get the payoff in Dynamite. If you are seeing this feud on Rampage, you will get the payoff on Rampage. Similar, like you get my drift, right?
Yes. And it helps the talents as well that we do not think that there is a lack of TV time, and the with the likes of talents that we have talked about, the likes of LAX or Proud and Powerful and FTR and many other teams who are not getting the TV time, but they have immense potential. So they can get that TV time. Uh, like FTR got time on Rampage. They are a great team. They wrestled the Rock and Roll Express just a few days ago. So I would have liked to watch that match on AEW or NWA, but nonetheless, uh, now they are caring about that. Maybe it is because of the contracts coming up, and the wrestlers giving them an ultimatum that if you are not investing in us, we can go elsewhere. So the promoter and the EVPs are thinking that no, we should actually you know fucking care about these talents, and we should invest in this. We should actually care about this. So good things are happening. And the thing that reiterated my point with the thing of the brand split, I guess it is happening, and it is a good thing, and it is building to the future. It is right now baby steps.
Mm, I like the current formula with how they are, trying to have a brand split.
Yes.
And other than that, it's a really huge roster. You're getting new talents for both these shows, trying to get every one of each and every member of that roster, some TV time. I think it's a good thing.
Yes. And if you are building a worldwide brand, uh, you want your A talent to be featured on your television screens. So when you go to watch Dynamite, so you want these guys like MJF, CM Punk, uh, to be featured. They have promos, they get the fans invested. And when you go Rampage, there should be some guys who can get the fans invested, who can get you viewership. Right now, Rampage isn't, on the level of Dynamite with the viewership. So they're building towards that. Dynamite is with regards to, you want to say that they are touching 1 million in the US, but Rampage isn't doing so well. I do not know what the ratings are at the moment for Rampage, but they have to do that, and now they're caring about that. We have talked about it at length for weeks. So the brand split, or whatever you want to brand that, it is a good step, and they're building towards that. And I suppose that good things would come out of that. And the top talent who were not getting the spotlight on Dynamite, they would get it on Rampage, because they would get ample TV time. They can do whatever the fuck that they want. They can get promos, they can do their shit. They can get over on Rampage. And the top talents of Dynamite, they can get over on Dynamite. So that's pretty much it.
But let's talk about the card here. But before that, if you are new to Slam Up Wrestling, then make sure to like, share, subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. Check out our other content. It's provided in the description below. So Rampage, Beach Break. So this kicked off with Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed facing John Moxley. We had Caster doing his usual rap, talking about, taking a little shot at Renee, and then even kind of made some comments about, network being a little unhappy with Mox. You know, it was a really good rap. We love the Acclaimed. And this match was fine. And I have to say, Anthony Bowens is really good in the ring. Like, if you want to compare who's the better in ring guy, I will give it to Anthony Bowens. Max Caster is a different beast, but Anthony Bowens is really good as well. And another good match for Mox, and his main story is they are building towards Brian Danielson versus John Moxley, hopefully at Revolution. But what do you think about this match and this thing going on with Mox and Brian Daniels?
You know, I thought that it was a competitive bout, and as you just said, decent match. Good, comeback match in a way for John Moxley, and the crowd was into it throughout. No question about it. It was Moxley's hometown, so the crowd was into it.
Home
Moxley
state?
got a huge, yes, Cleveland, Ohio.
Isn't he Cincinnati guy?
Oh, uh, yes, yes, but
Home state. Home state.
yes, home state, not hometown. Pardon.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, uh, he got a huge ovation when he made his entrance, and the crowd was into the match throughout. So it speaks to the volume of the superstar that he is, and the crowd was into it. And we also saw, as you just said, Anthony Bowens, he also got in the groove when John Moxley, had the shine and he dominated in the first half and everything. And, you know, Moxley, uh, at one point, he hit with his finish, uh, which he had in his days pre WWE, a version of the stun gun. Uh, Jericho called it the MOX.
Which I found
Uh,
really funny.
yes, and it is clear that why he did it. It is because of the RKO, and it is because of also probably just speculating here and brainstorming because Moxley wouldn't have gotten the permission or he would have uh, pissed off in a way if he had used or he would have asked to use that finisher in WWE because a top superstar is already using the said maneuver as his finisher, that is Randy Orton. We just mentioned that. And other than that, Moxley's selling of the shoulder was questionable, in my opinion. It was not very much into the match. Maybe it was just for him a throwaway match, so he didn't care as much. And many top superstars don't, which we do not want to judge. So there's that, but it was questionable. And other than that, the build up, or you can say the thing that was the catalyst to the match that happened on Dynamite, that was also pretty, simple. That's all I'm saying. And other than that, it was a decent match. That's it.
And yeah, Mox won with the paradigm shift. We like to call it the Death Rider. That sounds way cooler. Match went 13
Yes.
minutes, and yeah, man, good showing for both these guys. You gave Bowens some shine even with the defeat, and the Danielson Moxley thing. I think they have kept it strictly on Rampage. I assume.
Yes. Yes. And as you pointed out, that it would be happening on hopefully, and most probably it would be happening on Revolution. So, I we just discussed in the first half of this review that you know a certain set of superstars on Dynamite, a certain set of superstar on Rampage. So this thing, Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, the storyline is being featured on Rampage. So it also gives a reason to the viewers to watch Rampage. So the thing that I'm saying that with regards to viewership, revenue, and other stuff for Rampage, it would build in the future. It would not happen overnight. It would be happening in the near future or in the distant future, whatever your expectations are. But it is a good step. And I fully support that. And we have been talking about that for weeks or months.
Yeah, and this
But
time you can have the hot baby face in Moxley going against the heel Danielson. Because I think originally the plan was supposed to be the roles were supposed to be the other opposite way. Like we were about to get a heel Mox going into the at the time a newcomer in Danielson who was a top baby face. But this times I like that the roles have been reversed in a very organic way.
yes, yes, I like it too. Absolutely.
Looking
It
f-
would
look
be very interesting.
Yeah, very looking forward to it, as they continue this build. But as we move along, they showed a little promo package for Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho that will be happening on next week's Dynamite. So they are trying to build towards that matchup. It's basically the rematch from the tournament. Nothing much here. But moving on, we had Andrade, El Idolo. So he was seen backstage and he was outside the locker room of Sting, or like he calls it, Stink, Mr. Stink. So we got in the locker room. He was accompanied by assistant Jose like always, and we see Darby Allin. He was in the corner sitting and was laughing hysterically. So Andrade and Jose were trying to have this conversation with Alan, and Andrade was very pleased to meet this little kid, referring to Darby Allen. So Jose and Andrade came up with this offer and gave him a contract via the iPad. I don't know, you gave contracts like that, but there you go. They gave him a contract, gave him a little offer to join, I think, their group, the AHFO now. But Darby Allin, no surprise there. He just rejected it, saying he doesn't care about the money and stuff. His dignity is what he cares about. And at one point, when Darby declined the offer, uh, Jose and Andrade got a little pissed, as Darby Allin was looking to walk away. So Darby, had a little backup as he got Sting's baseball bat, to chase the heels off. So this is something going on with Andrade and Darby Allin. So down the line, you could be getting a matchup of some sorts.
Yes. Uh, we have to see, when it, happens or manifests. But right now, let's see, we had talked about it in the past that they are trying to go back and make this recruitment thing with Andrade work. Basically, they tried a few things, they didn't work out, or maybe it was not meant to be. Many obstacles in the way, but right now they have gone back to the recruitment thing that it is his character. They are giving him that, they're sticking with that. So I just, you know, we all hope that the people, the fans, they get invested in this. What is happening with this trio of Sting? Andrade and Darby Allin. Hopefully, something comes out of it. We are seeing the end game as Darby Allin versus Andrade, but hopefully, it gives us some compelling content and the fans get invested in the said content and the build up to the eventual match. So hopefully something comes out of it, basically.
It's gonna be a little tough when knowing that Andrade has been, hanging out with the HFO and Matt Hardy's gang. And HFO is a low point in AEW television right now.
Mm, yes, you know, I was not aware of this. I only got to know of this in the main event of the show. And, you know, as you're saying, HFO is the low point. In a way, Andrade as well is not at a very high point.
Yeah,
Yes, he went out. Yes, you were saying.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And him joining with HFO doesn't help him at all.
Yes, in a way, it doesn't make also sense. Both the guys are, in a way, as per character, they have money, so they do not need one another. But if they're trying to, twist and trying to make something out of it, hopefully it works. I hope that something works out of this. What is the premise? How did it happen? I want to know because I haven't probably seen it. How did this alliance come about? Can you please share?
Um, I think it happened on a random dynamite couple of weeks ago now at this point. Like they did a segment and we got the news. In a this normal backstage interview segment with Tony Schiavone was involved, I guess. That Matt Hardy. No, 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 no. Now that I remember, what happened was there was this match happening with Penta and Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy lost that match, and during that same night, they did a segment with Matt Hardy. He was looking a little frustrated, saying that he should be doing something else. He should be looking at the future, other future talents. He should be considering his future. That was the moment where we kind of got a feeling Jeff Hardy is coming in, and all of a sudden this Andrade gets involved in Matt Hardy's situation, and the following week they did a segment where they told us the fans that Andrade and Matt Hardy are doing somewhat of a partnership, and the HFO now is the AHFO with Andrade's involvement.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the whole premises of this, how this whole thing came about.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, this AHFO thing could also be, a thing which is transitory, transitionary, till the point when Jeff Hardy enters the AEW universe or AEW realm. Because there has been some contractual issues. I guess there was a news that John Laurinaitis contacted Jeff Hardy, I guess a few days ago. So, right now Jeff Hardy's contractual thing is not clear, or he cannot enter or join or sign with AEW right now. So they
90
are
days.
90 days.
I think his contract expires. The 90 days thing expires in March.
Mm-hmm. All right. So maybe, Jeff Hardy is trying to, keep his options open. He wants a better deal. So he's, keeping his options open. He's thinking that where he can get good money or something like that. So right now, we also, saw that Matt Hardy was at one point, uh, for a, you can say, a good chunk of time, he was out of television. He was not here, and he was teasing about Jeff Hardy and blah blah blah. So right now, this alliance with Andrade, it could be transitory only till the point if a Jeff Hardy signs with AEW. If Jeff Hardy signs with WWE, he gets a good deal and he goes back. Then this AHFO thing could, you know, go forward, and it becomes a thing, a legit thing, which helps all of the guys involved in the HFO. And if Jeff Hardy signs with AW, I guess they would, you know, create a story which ultimately leads to Andrade going away with from this faction. So right now it's just transitory, and having Matt Hardy on television also gets the fans invested, and they want people invested, and Matt Hardy could throw out teasers or troll with the crowd with Jeff Hardy and stuff like that, that Jeff Hardy is coming to AEW and stuff like that, just to troll with the crowd, just like you pointed out that we all thought that Jeff Hardy is coming, but he didn't. So it's just, it could be transitory, it could be permanent. It all depends upon Jeff Hardy's decision at this point. But right now, this thing with Andrade, you know, as you said, you know, it doesn't, make sense. But let's see, how it goes. Hopefully, Andrade, ends up in a better place. After what happened with Cody, that fall through a flaming table, yes, he got the attention from the crowd, but how did he build up from that? He is great in the ring. We all know that he's good in the ring. He's great in the ring, but get the fans invested. We have talked about it at length in one of the reviews. Same problem in WWE, same problem in AEW. Get the fans invested, get a character. Right now, he is trying, they are all trying with the recruitment thing. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, this thing, what they're trying, you know, it gets somewhere. Gets somewhere.
At this point, Jeff is definitely being all elite.
Let's see. Hopefully,
Yeah, we'll learn that for in about 2 more months on what's going to happen with Jeff.
yes, pretty much.
But moving on, we had a tag team match. I think this was supposed to happen a week ago on Dynamite. I think, but plans changed. Someone got sick. It happens these days. So we are getting this match. It is Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson facing FTR. The AAA Tag Team Champions. This was a little fun tag team match. FTR were trying to work like this was actually a big match, and it was fun, man. I loved it. And what did you think about this random tag match we had on Rampage?
I thought that it was a competitive, it was a good match, and overall, I also heard from the commentators that the premise of this match was that Dax pointed out that Arn Anderson wished that uh, he was his son rather than Brock. So something simple, but it touches the nerves of some people, and overall, you know, good fun, entertaining match. You know, classic, wrestling. Nothing, uh, flips or lucha libre. Nothing. Classic wrestling, entertaining match. Nothing more that I can add to it.
So we had Lee Johnson and Cash Wheeler actually starting off the match, some good wrestling, and then we get to a tag by as we had Brock Anderson coming in and Dax Harwood. They came to a little face to face with the whole Arn Anderson element, and at one point they were looking spitting mirror images on themselves, like with the whole lockup exchanges and the duck and all, and there was a pause in the middle of this match, and that was lovely. And as we move along, FTR were doing great job, like always, grounding the baby faces here. So there was some shenanigans with Arn and no, sorry, Tully Blanchard getting involved at one point. So he, ran into Arn Anderson. So Arn Anderson, made sure, to get rid of Tully Blanchard here. No Glocks were introduced, by the way, just a right hand. So as we move along, uh, in the finish of this match, we see FTR. I think it was on Lee Johnson, I guess, or was it on Brock Anderson? They picked one of the baby faces up for the Spike Pile Driver, and there you go, got a quick win. FTR, getting the victory here. Really fun match here. Nothing. It was not much of any importance and all, but really good TV match here. And at this point, we are waiting for this Briscoes thing. This whole thing going on Twitter to come on TV, whether it happens on AEW television, whether it happens on Ring of Honor. They are back officially. Do they do it on the WrestleMania weekend show? Who knows at this point?
I, we can only speculate, like you're saying. Hopefully, it would have a better, you know, a better platform would be the Super Card of Honor.
You think so?
I guess it would have more eyes on it. Mm, yes, I suppose it is their comeback show. Them, I mean, Ring of Honor. So a lot of eyes would be on there. I would say that it would be a better platform.
Mm, that's not a bad thing at all if they give it at the Super Card of Honor. That would actually give some buzz to the show. Will give some meaning to actually go out of your way and watch a ROH show.
Absolutely, absolutely, and uh, we not uh, know at this point. Just saying it that if AEW does it or something like that, I do not know if AEW does that. It is just you know this thing with the politics and the bullshit. I don't think so that they would get a proper platform or the TV time or the you can say the build up in AEW because you know specifically I would like to say I guess Cornet pointed it out or something that you know it, politics is there in all spheres of life and you know some people are insecure of others so the others who have potential of a similar you know kind of, or they are on a similar level. They try to, you know, put them down. Uh, I guess Conan talked about Santana and Ortiz. Santana and Ortiz, if we just talk about them in AW, have they gotten their due? You know, the potential that they have they gotten the opportunities to showcase that? Just saying.
Mm, they are not living up to the potential.
Yes. So, then we hear about stuff that what could be the reason. It is good that, and it is great that they were or they are part of the top faction of AW, that is Inner Circle. But right now, they are also a part of a storyline and they are being showcased on television. Is it a reason? Is the reason that they should be booked better, or the reason is that the contracts were to expire right now and they are being booked better because the booker doesn't want them to leave, because they have immense potential wherever they go? And I am talking about not only Santana and Ortiz, I am also talking about FTR as well. Since the inception of the promotion, and since both of the teams have arrived in this promotion, have they gotten their due, or have they gotten their due just recently? And they are getting the said opportunities just recently, and they are being pushed, and they are getting their due, and they are being featured just recently. And the reason could be the contracts getting expired.
It could be, it
So,
could be.
yes, it could be. So the point is that yes, politics exists, but the point is that you have such talents, give them the proper potential. And if we go to the initial point, that what we were discussing, Briscoes versus uh, FTR, they wouldn't get that platform, the build up in AEW. To be very honest, we want that on AEW because it is broadcasted in many countries worldwide, but they wouldn't get that. So we can only hope that we see that on Ring of Honor, and it would be on pay per view, basically. GCW is right now, I'm just saying it, is one of the hottest independent wrestling promotions in the United States or probably the world. And they are popping up in the recent months right now, and they are a very, you know, uh, they are a, you know, good, a good product, or you can say they are getting traction. Yes, the quality aspect is questionable, like you said, like you. But the point is, the eyes are on them, you know. So you want to have FTR, Briscoes, so much rather have on Ring of Honor pay per view or GCW, Ring of Honor pay per view, right?
No, FTR, I don't know that it wouldn't be suitable for that audience. Of what I have, gotten my first exposure of GCW, seeing their Hammerstein show.
No, I am saying much rather have it on Ring of Honor pay per view.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
I
okay, okay.
Yes, because GCW, like you said, I'm not saying the audience, but I am saying that they are building towards being that, and a, having a said, you know, you can say an image or whatever you want to call that. But yes, Ring of Honor has, they have been in this game for years, and you know, there is a you can you can say that getting booked on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, FTR, Briscoes makes more sense, not on GCW.
But they are taking
GCW
the
had,
yeah, but they are taking the
yes.
GCW approach of not having signed talents, picking up each and
Hmm.
everyone from the independent scene, plus at least having your champions with special contracts. I guess I don't know. Still a little unclear on that Ring of Honor situation.
Hmm. It could be a financial thing. They could be that they have taken the business model, or they have taken inspiration from GCW model, because it might benefit uh, Sinclair Broadcasting. Let's see, but if it helps Ring of Honor or Sinclair Broadcasting, be it as it may, they have taken this sabbatical. They must be thinking that what can we do to get our market share back that we have lost in so many years. After the elite left, they lost a chunk of market share, and they lost a ton of traction, so to speak. So there was a, you can say, a thinking process as to how we think of the future with regards to Ring of Honor, and what should we do with regards to having business relationships with various other companies, with Impact Wrestling and other companies, New Japan or AW, NWA, or what, whoever they can. And business relationships is basically you benefiting, us benefiting, and all of these stakeholders benefiting. So let's see.
But moving on, a little package for the Thunder Rosa Mercedes Martinez thing that has been being brewing for weeks now. So we are finally getting these two ladies in the ring. They're going to finally have this match next week on Rampage, and yeah, I think this is in a way a one-off and done deal. And then you could have Britt Baker, being inserted in the Thunder Rosa situation, because I mentioned this on the Dynamite review. Me and Ridwan, talked about the Britt Baker on what she's doing. She is doing nothing right now. Has been put on ice. I think it's because they are waiting for Thunder Rosa to finish off her business. So then we could get the ball rolling on this Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship at Revolution. Because no, I
Hmm.
don't think anything else makes sense at this point.
Hmm. Nothing else makes sense. Yes, I could agree. I could agree. But you know, yes, I would agree. I was just thinking about the time for the build up and the pay per view. You said that it is in March, if I'm not wrong. So there is ample time. Uh, it can definitely happen. They can pull it off. But just I didn't like Britt Baker's promo on Dynamite as much.
Um,
Just saying.
I thought it was good. The material was good. The delivery was a little arguable.
Yes, absolutely, bang on, bang on.
Uh, we need to look and see what happens with the whole women's title situation. And Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez on Rampage next week should be a good little women's match.
Yes, but as we just discussed in our last review, the investment from the crowd is, it's
Mm, I
just a
don't.
problem that they need to figure out in the future that if you want people to watch, you want people to care, invest, make you know the the, the people, the wrestlers seem as real people. You know, even if they are you know talking to us, to the camera, as personalities, so make them feel to us as real people. They are pissed off with one another, so it should translate to us that they are fucking pissed. They want to fight one another. There should be something. For instance, uh, just this is not very strictly an example which is very much uh, appropriate probably. For example, what happened post match of uh, Dynamite with what happened with Leila Hirsch. Post match, Chris Statlander came to the aid of Red Velvet. She went out, uh, Chris Statlander, to the surprise of all of us, the baby faces don't come out. She chased her. Leila Hirsch went to the stage, and Chris Statlander just stopped. Where is the invisible wall?
No, the invisible wall
Was
was
this?
out. No, she did cross the invisible wall. She got outside of the ring. That's what JR
Yes,
pointed
she.
out on Dynamite.
Yes, and there is also an invisible wall. Was there an invisible wall between the ramp and the stage? She just stopped. What was stopping both of the ladies? There were no ring officials to stop her. Uh, there was nothing. The thing that would have made sense was she could have chased her to the tunnel. That would have at least made sense. So the point that I'm saying, that make them seem as real people, and it should seem logical. That is what I am saying. That she just stopped. And here in this case, I'm just saying that there are two people, Thunder Rosa, Mercedes Martinez. There is no backstory, but give us something that why Mercedes Martinez, you know, fucking attacked her, basically. Nothing more is there to say here. We have talked about it at length in the last review. It's that.
Uh, there you go, man. That's regarding those two ladies. Let's talk about Serena Deeb. A video package on her. On what she has been doing for the couple of weeks. She has gotten rid of Hikaru Shida, who's on the shelf lately, and yeah, nothing much on Deeb, but she is somewhat of a interesting character. If you exclude the other top ladies in this division, and it is interesting to see where she lands in the current scheme of things. Is she ready for a title contention? Seeing the current scenario, it would make sense, I guess, because we have two top heels as the champions. We have Jade with the TBS belt, Britt with the world title, the women's world title.
Yes. Uh, I do not see her as a contender, or you should push Serena Deeb as a contender right now. She is a contender, as we, analyze, or we see her as a top contender for any of the championship. But right now, pushing her, not a good decision.
Um, give her some meaningful storylines and stuff, and that would be good, as we finally get to a point where you could have her, buying for a title or maybe even giving her a title.
Yes, agreed, agreed.
But speaking about championships, the TBS championship is on the line. Jade Cargill was defending the title here against Julia Hart, and this came about on this week's Dynamite. Like we had Mark Sterling, telling us, the fans, that Jade Cargill has handpicked Julia Hart to be her second defense here, and we all know the situation going on with Julia Hart. She has wearing an eye patch for a couple of weeks since the attack by Malachi Black with the black mist and stuff. And this House of Black thing with the storyline that is going on with Malachi Black, that is actually getting some steam, and especially with the Brody King debut, Malachi Black is yet again become an interesting figure, and me and Ridwan have praised this thing, especially, and brought this point out that Malachi Black is becoming the interesting character yet again on TV because he cooled off after that Cody Rhodes feud. So, have you seen some of this House of Black, the Kings of the Black Throne thing that is going on AEW television?
I uh, I only saw this week's Dynamite, so I saw the promo. It seemed interesting. It seemed intriguing, and with Julia Hart and Julia Hart's attitude and the gear that she's sporting right now. Uh, you know, I don't know that what is uh, planned or where she is headed down the road, she being Julia Hart. But if she joins Malachi Black and Brody King, I would not have any problem because it is the natural course that her character is taking. That the black mist affected her inner being, and she, you know, it shifted her consciousness, and she is being pushed to the dark side, and you know the loss of on Rampage, I gave it out, but the people who watch the show, you know, they would know. The loss on Rampage would only, you know, push her in that direction. And, even Pac, I suppose, that probably he is also being pushed to that. And if they, both the people, Julia Hart and Pac, do not join this, House of Black, but they can shift to being heels or antagonists or being pushed to the dark side.
But there you go. And regarding this match, it was a, you could say, squash match, but they gave Julia some moments and she looked good at it. Like there was one attempt of a Hurricanrana into a pin, but Jade with the pub kick and the Jaded for a win. This match went about 2 minutes or so, and yeah, that's it. And I think they are trying to play a little safe with Jade's title run.
Uh, it could be, could be. But, if you see this match in a broader sense, in the overall scheme of things, I think that it was executed perfectly. Jade Cargill is a star, and she feels like a star, she looks like a star, and you labeled the match as a squash match. Yes, absolutely, it was a glorified squash match, and the crowd was into it, and Jade was, throwing it out, the heel shenanigans with the push-ups and everything, and you know with regards to Julia Hart, I said it, just a few minutes ago, that the loss with regards to Julia Hart only adds to the character development of Julia Hart, which you just said that it ultimately, you know, took a shift, or it ultimately began when Malachi Black, threw the black mist in her eye. So a loss would only shift or push her to the dark side. That being good and being a good shoes doesn't help. I have to change myself. I have to change my mindset. So it's only pushing her to the dark side. And a loss is doing just that. So basically, you have accomplished two things. You put over Jade Cargill as a champion, and you added to the character development of Julia Hart. So I would say that good stuff, basically perfection.
And
A yes,
and
basic.
what I
Yes,
meant to by
please.
safe was they are giving her, they are giving Jade some easy opponents to work with. So it is good. And initially, you should start giving her some legit names, I guess, in that division.
Hmm. Yes, yes. It would eventually happen, absolutely. But right now, they are building her stature, like, that she is a fucking monster. Now she is 26 and 0.
And
So,
now, yeah,
yeah,
and they are making a big deal out of that as well. Like, they are showing the graphics as well, like her new record. Like, she is 26 and 0 right now.
yes. So she is being built like that, and I would say that you know they are building her as that. So her first loss would be a fucking huge deal whenever it happens. It would happen in the distant future, but right now it is to build her. And these matches, what it is happening, if a person or a guy or a girl from the masses, a wrestling fan or even a non-wrestling fan watches this match, he or she can become a fan of wrestling or of Jade Cargill, basically. So you are growing an audience, in my opinion, through Jade Cargill.
But as we move along, let's talk about the main event. That is for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This is Private Party, the number one ranked team, the tag team rankings, facing Jurassic Express. They did the whole main event interview bit with Mark Henry, and took a little shot with especially Christian and Matt Hardy. Christian said that whenever they have faced in the past, he was actually one of the top guy in the tag team scene, something like that. And we quickly transitioned into the match, and we had the Gun Club members, that is Austin and Colton, sitting ringside. Kind of reminded me of the early pandemic shows. So they were ringside, and for a second, they were more louder than the actual crowd. So there you go, the Gun Club were sitting ringside, aka the Ass Boys. We also heard Ass Boys chant throughout this match. So this match actually got jump started as the heels attacked Jurassic Express as they were busy having argument with the Gun Club over there. So we had the Jungle Boy was actually sent into the ring. He was still using wearing his title belt. So Private Party set Jungle Boy up for gin and juice. They hit it and were not able to get the job done. And from there we had your usual Private Party, a very high paced match, but there was an element of they were working on the big man, that was Luchasaurus, thanks to some distraction by Blade and Matt Hardy. Christian Cage tried his best to get rid of those heels. So they were trying to work on Luchasaurus's heel, sorry, leg actually, not heel. Um But at the end, Luchasaurus was, able to escape the Pride Party members and make the hot tag to Jungle Boy. So back and forth there, he was able to get rid of these guys single-handedly, and pace picked up over from there as we get to the final parts. And what happened was they were Pride Party were going for yet another gin and juice, but Jungle Boy countered into a you could say a Canadian destroyer. I think there was yet another move where we had Jungle Boy on top of Luchasaurus, and I think Isaiah Cassidy tried to do a crossbody and Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy countered it and hit a, I don't know, a Spanish fly, a crossbody, whatever you call it. But really good counter though. And there was another moment where Jungle Boy had Cassidy in the snare trap that was broken up by Mark Quinn with a shooting star. But the finish came when I think it was Cassidy. So Jurassic Express, they hit the, I think they call it the Jurassic Express, which is a
Thoracic,
back.
yes, they call it the Thoracic Express.
Seriously, they call it the, say that again.
Thoracic Express.
I need to really do the research on that name, on why they call it. But nonetheless, they hit this move, and it pretty is a really sick looking move, if you ask me, with the back suplex and power bomb. So they hit that, and Jurassic Express with a predictable outcome here, retain, and fun little match here with Private Party, and nothing much. But we'll get to the post match stuff and give me your thoughts on this match.
I thought that was a competitive and entertaining match throughout, and you have almost run through everything that happened in this match. The thing, I have talked about it in very much one or once or twice with regards to Private Party, but and it also got pointed out by Chris Jericho in this match. There was a point when Isaiah Cassidy was locked in the snare trap by Jungle Boy, and his partner Mark Quinn, rather than breaking up the submission with a sense of urgency, he went to the top rope and performed a shooting star press to break the submission. So nonsensical and illogical, basically. And even Jericho on commentary seconded that point. That basically, you know, yes, it is an opinion. It is my opinion. You have to do what, you know, sets you free and what makes you happy. But basically, the point is that Private Party is a heel now. They are not baby faces, they are a heel now. So you should change your modus operandi. Basically, more ground and pound, less of lucha libre. Basically, to garner heat from the crowd.
Mm,
Basically,
yeah, I
just
think
an
it.
opinion.
Yeah, I think they should try it, but it's going to be a little tough when you are the students of Amazing Red.
Agreed. But the point is that you are in this space of professional wrestling and you are given a role. So you should, be able to adapt to that. Yes, you are baby faces, so you should do that, quote unquote flashy stuff and lucha libre stuff in order to pop the crowd. Great. Get that reaction, sell merchandise, everything, the signs, everything. But when you are heels, just an opinion, when you are heels, more ground and pound, get the fans to hate you, get them angry. Or you can do this, that tease the lucha libre stuff and just come down. Don't execute it to the full. Just tease them, troll them. You can do that. Just an opinion. Do what makes you feel better. Just an opinion. Because the fact is that the opinion is that you have come from the independent scene, and the thing is, you think that getting the pops, getting the reaction will get the attention from the fans, it will get the attention of the booker, and he would book you more on television. That is the mindset. But the point is that you are given a role of an antagonist or a heel. So I would say that commit to that rather than have this mindset to pop the fans. You have done that. That is what brought you to AEW. You have done that in the independent scene. But now you should focus more on the role being assigned to you rather than to pop the crowd. It would only be instantaneous. Getting the pops, getting the likes on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever, getting the tweets, uh, great shooting star press. But if you are committing to the role and if you are able to put over the other person, Jurassic Express or whoever, you would become an asset to the team. Any promotion would want a heel who can garner heat, that people want you beaten, people want you to be fucking ostracized. So you are ultimately an asset, that anyone is a baby face, anyone against you is a baby face. So you become an asset. Basically, you are more powerful than the other person. You are a top heel. Becoming a top heel is very easy. I would say it is difficult, but you have to commit to that. But anyone in this uh, universe, or in 2022, 2021, heels are also wanting to be baby faces, to get the pop, to get the reaction. If there are no heels, how would the baby faces get over?
Like, you need some legitimate heels to, tell a story. And on the other side as well, you also need some legit baby faces as well. Because baby faces don't work these days so easily, especially top baby
Yes.
faces.
And how would it work if there is an imbalance between the two sides? If there are no heels or less heels, and there is this much baby faces, because the people who are supposed to be heels, they are also here. So the whole babyface universe is this, and the heels is this, or maybe even this. So how would a babyface get over? The only baby faces who are over are from WWE, probably, who are seriously over. I am saying as a fact, seriously over.
Mm,
Baby faces who you say that they are over, that who are homegrown talent, they are on, they are on a building phase. They will get over. They will get over to become superstars or something like that. But how will they get to that level when there is nothing in this universe, the heel universe? How will they get to that level? If you want, for instance, Darby Allin or Hangman Adam Page to get to this level here, and you put someone like Adam Cole in front of them, how will they get over? Because Adam Cole is getting better reaction than your baby face. You are wanting Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. How will Hangman Adam Page get over?
I don't know.
Because this guy, Adam Cole, is also here in a way.
But you can give Adam Cole a little pass because he's been the same guy for all these years. The in between guy.
Yes, the in between guy. But in a way, he is this. Now, with his stint in WWE, he has become this, or he is here, in between or on the verge of a babyface. He is not a heel. Let's be perfectly honest. Adam Cole is not a heel. You can book him as a heel, for your whims and fancies. You can book him as a heel, but he is not a heel. With the reaction, with all the, the boom and everything, and the Adam Cole baby. Is he a heel? No, absolutely not.
Mm, yeah, but I still consider him as a tweener in the in between guy.
Yes, he's a twin. Absolutely. But in order to get the baby faces over as a baby face or get them as superstars, you need people in this universe. And there is a big shortage. So I would say, if you are a heel, if you are in this business, in this universe, I would say commit to the role, and things would pop up. And believe in yourself, have a positive mindset. The top companies would see you, and they see some potential in you, that you can garner heat and etc. They would in time sign you, because you are an asset as well. Only baby faces are not assets. You are an asset as well, because this business needs both. It is only not run by the baby faces, it is also run by heels. And if you are thinking about, I'm not getting, it would hit my merchandise sales, I would not be able to, generate revenue with merch and stuff like that, that's up to you. That's up to you.
I don't know. The babyface's heel dynamic has changed over the years. Like nowadays, people blur the lines of being a babyface or a like it's been a trend for the last 20 years, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Ever since
And
the NWO got over with Hogan,
hmm.
and it's
Hmm.
still going on till this day.
Hmm. Yes. And even with the how the society has changed and has become more sensitive, it has also led to the decline of quote unquote heels. But if you give them more leverage, them being heels in this universe of sports entertainment or professional wrestling, it could give people, more incentive to, commit to the role. Like, for instance, MJF does a good job, a great job as a heel. But nonetheless, you know, if you are a heel, if you commit to the role, I suppose you can do both,
but
but commit to that role.
but
Serena Deeb is doing good.
hmm,
I didn't, see her potential prior to AW, or I didn't see her work prior to AW. But what I saw in AW, blown away, seriously blown away.
hmm, that's a really good discussion we had regarding the the baby faces heel thing. But as we were talking, we had a little post match bit here as the Gun Club, the Ass Boys jumped Jurassic Express. We also had Billy Gunn showing up over there. So we had the heels getting rid of the baby faces here. They even got rid of Christian Cage, the assist from Billy Gunn, of course. There were belt shots to both Jurassic Express members, that is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and we had the Gun Club standing tall with uh, holding the AEW Tag Team Championships, and that's how Rampage went off the air.
Loved the post match ambush by the Gun Club or the Ass Boys, whatever you want to call that. Great stuff.
And
And it could also, our discussion could also, apply here in a way. They committed to that role, these three, being, heels or, antagonists. They did a good job, in my opinion. Here,
and and they are
in this
doing
case.
like the Ass Boys. The thing is really getting over thanks to the new debutant Danhausen. So I think
Mhm.
Danhausen deserves some credit on that department.
Mhm. I, you know, I cannot, comment or judge with regards to Danhausen. I have heard a lot about Danhausen, and he debuted in Dynamite. He is a welcome addition on Dynamite and AW's realm. So I would like to see that what is he, what is his character, and what is the potential with regards to Danhausen. I haven't seen his work, so I am completely blank. I have a blank canvas with regards to what opinion I have of him. But I have heard a lot, and so I am looking forward to what is in store with regards to Danhausen. And you were talking about the Gun Club and Danhausen. If you can just elaborate what what is the association with regards to that?
This is before AEW, Danhausen came into AEW. They were trying to build some angle on the internet with Danhausen getting involved with the Ass Boys, that is Gun Club, and that's how the Ass Boys name came, and that's why you were hearing Ass Boys chants for the couple of weeks on AEW television, thanks to Danhausen.
Wow, wow.
And this Danhausen fellow, I would say, is very smart. Like he's already, in a way, mainstream guy with some relations to Hollywood. He also was featured in the Conan O'Brien show, and he is a huge Hollywood star. He is buddies with half of the roster with the AEW roster, especially CM Punk. You have heard of him.
Yes.
In a ways, if you don't know who Danhausen is, you know his star power now after his Dynamite appearance. Very smart guy, like he said. He knows how to make money, and especially he's very nice and very evil. And at the end of the day, like everyone, you will also love that Danhausen.
Sure.
But
Yes, yes.
But this was the Rampage show, and next week is shaping up to be a really good Dynamite episode with Punk versus MJF. I know you have your eyes on that, and we gave our thoughts on the Dynamite review, and looking forward to see how that story progress. And will we see another match at Revolution?
I think that we probably will. This is just an you know, interim match. You know, the thing is that probably you can say the day and the date, basically February 2nd, 2022. That is basically 22222. I might have said a two more. That and it's in Chicago, the show. So they might have decided, both of the competitors, MJF and CM Punk. They might have you know decided that let's have a match on that date in that you know state. So, and I don't think that they would be swerving anyone. AW doesn't do that shit from their recent history, that the match doesn't happen or something like that. I do not think so. So whatever happens, it would be newsworthy. Basically, I am looking forward to it. Both the guys are, I am not judging, or I am not saying that they are inclined to spirituality in a way. So that is why, that could be probably the reason as to why they chose to have a match on that date. And it also builds to, it would have some kind of controversy to that it leads to a second match on the pay-per-view, because they have had enough talk, in the words of Mark Henry. So let's have a match and then have a match on the pay-per-view. There is an ample gap between now and the pay-per-view. So having a match right now would calm the audience, and it also pushes to have a second match. So let's see what happens. Looking forward to it.
But before we leave, where can these guys find you?
Guys, you can connect with me on Instagram and Twitter at AbbyManiac, and you can also connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook as well.
And you can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamHubW, Instagram at SlamHub Wrestling. You can find this review on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the AEW Rampage Beach Break review, and see you guys next time.